Hello and welcome to Post Popcorn Picks, the podcast where we here at the Puyallup Post cover the newest releases. I'm Steven Gonzalez, and today we're talking about Halloween.
So, Steven, what is the film about?
Halloween is a film directed by David Gordon Green and tells fans to ignore every film but the original. Michael Myers has been imprisoned in a sanitarium for quite some time, but Laurie Strode still can't let go of the past trauma inflicted upon her by Michael. Although her daughter has moved on and started a family, Laurie has trouble connecting with them. When Michael breaks free and decides to take a walk about town, Laurie Strode decides it's up to her to put Michael to rest.
And the film stars Jamie Lee Curtis, Judy Greer, Andy Matichak, James Jude Courtney, Nick Castle, and Will Patton. And Steven, what did you think of the film?
Before I can properly rate this movie, I have to explain that horror movies in our country are pretty bad. And they have been for some time. The concept of horror is a pretty wide scope to attempt to address in a movie. Typically, movie makers find it easier to just hit the majority of audience appeal. In this country, that usually equates to gore. Horror means gore in this country. Whereas horror films in other countries usually try to dig into the human subconscious, they want to shine a light on the darkest corners of the mental construct, American horror movies just try to make audiences squeamish. Basically, 9 times out of 10, horror movies in America kind of suck. That being said, Halloween is an above-average horror film by American standards. What about you, Vic?
Yeah, I have to agree. I enjoyed watching the film, and I do think that some parts it got a little slow, but I didn't go into the film expecting much. I enjoyed myself. It was a fun film to watch, but I do think there was a lot of lazy screenwriting in this. There's a lot of things that happen, not because the characters do them, but because the story needs to progress and the characters just need to do these actions. So this person won't be able to receive phone calls, or we just need to this character just can't be on screen anymore. There were just a lot of things where it's these characters did things because they were written, not because the characters organically just decided to do these actions.
Yeah, man, I had trouble with there's that awkward cut at the beginning in the when they're by her lockers. We had people just written out of the story. The boyfriend's pretty clearly a jerk throughout the movie, and that just never gets addressed later. And there are characters that just never get comeuppance, and then there are other characters we're introduced to that are just killed off immediately. It feels like one person wanted to just have a movie where Michael Myers was just murdering everyone, and someone else wanted to have a movie, I don't know, with a plot maybe? And it seems like they kind of came to a headway, but it didn't come together the way I would have wanted it to. All in all, it's not a film I'd pay to watch again. It was a little jumpy. There were also awkward dashes of comedy in the midst of the rest of the film. I'm going to chalk that up to Danny McBride, who I love, but I don't know. It was weird here. And I still don't know whether Michael Myers has otherworldly powers or if he's just a really strong serial killer. The film lends credence to both. Honestly, I don't care enough to know, and maybe that's what this film's strength is. I just want to watch Michael Myers take people out. Gets 3 out of 5 stars.
Yeah, I'll give it 3 out of 5 also, and I probably will see it again for the sake of just kind of the first time I wasn't really expecting much, but I was a tad bit excited. This time I'm just watching it again. I feel like the second time watching it, I probably won't like it as much because those things that bothered me the first time around, they're going to be more prevalent, and I'm probably going to catch more things that just the script just doesn't do that well. I feel like if they took a little more time on the script and the screenplay, that maybe we could have had a good cohesive film that just didn't have these random scenes of Michael Myers walking into someone's house, killing them, and then just having those kind of scenes and just having that character and just that scene in general just play no really significance into the overall story.
Anyway, guys, that's all we have for you today. Tune in next time. Thanks for joining us.